It might sound really obvious, but you do need to know the age of any caravan that you might decide to buy. And there's few reasons for that, so we'll go through them. The first one is the most obvious. You don't want to overpay for a caravan, because when it comes time to sell that caravan, you're not going to get your money back. And we know that just like cars, sometimes you don't get your money back, but you don't want to be overpaying. The age determines the value of that vehicle or caravan. So you need to make sure you know exactly what year and manufacture that caravan is before you even think about buying it. Because when it does come time to sell, you might realise that you paid way over odds. Another reason for that is if you get a caravan, whether it's a static caravan or a touring caravan, you're going to want to insure that. Anything could happen to your van. There could be a fire, there could be a flood, it could get stolen. And if you've got no insurance, you've basically got nothing. And also, if you want to put that on a site all year long, then you're going to need to provide insurance for that van. You're going to need to provide the age of that van. So everything is basically connected. If you don't insure it, a lot of sites won't allow you to put it on their site. Some will let you do that, providing you insure it afterwards. And this one is insured. It's first thing that we did. Because you're paying a lot of money for something, and if the worst happens, you don't want to be left with nothing. Also, part of being on this site is you've got to provide that insurance certificate. It's part of their rules, and I think probably most other parks as well. Another really important reason for knowing the age of your caravan is because certain sites won't allow vans on their site after they've reached a certain age, so you could also get a bit of a shock there. The most obvious place to look to find out the age of your van is through the sales documents. But sometimes people do private sales and there's no documents that get provided. You've then got to take the word of the person that sold it to you on exactly how old that caravan is. But if you're unsure or don't want to believe what you're being told, there are ways that you can find out. If you want to be 100% sure of exactly how old a caravan is that you're going to buy, you can check that yourself. And that way you don't have to take the word of anybody that's selling it. And the way you do that is the exact same way you do it on a car. Every single caravan has got what's called a VIN number, which is a vehicle identification number. And you'll find them in various locations on different vans. Some of them might be on the chassis, and the chassis part that they'll be on is what's called the A-frame, which is the front of your van. And it'll be a set of numbers. On other vans, they could be on a window. Once again, a set of numbers. I'll show you where mine's located on this caravan. So just in the doorway of this caravan as you go in, you'll see down there's a metal plate. And if you zoom in, that will show you the number. It's the one right at the bottom there, and it's been etched into this metal. But as I was saying, they could be on the chassis, and that's the A-frame part. If you're not 100% sure exactly where the A-frame part of your caravan chassis is, I'll pop a picture on just to show you. If it's not there, it should be on a window somewhere. It could also be in the boiler cupboard on a metal plate fixed to a wall. And if you can't find it in any of those locations, then it's probably a little bit dodgy. It may not be exactly what it seems. And the way to find out exactly how old your caravan is by typing that number into a search engine, and a lot of them will identify it and they'll tell you what year it is. On some, depending on age, it won't tell you that, but you can identify it yourself, because normally the 10th digit of that long number that you'll find represents the age of that caravan. I'll show you a quick example of that. So if we just go on to this web page, which is called granthamscaravans.uk, it will tell you the information that you need. It will tell you that on a VIN number there's 17 digits, and to find a caravan's age you simply need to just look at the 10th character of that VIN number. So for example, that is a VIN number that they provided, and they've underlined the C. And then for reference, you can scroll down through here, and it gives you various letters and the age of the caravan depicted by that particular letter. So if we scroll down through those letters until we get to the letter C, which is right there, that's telling you that that caravan is a 2012. So if you can find your serial number, just do what it says here and then check it to get the actual age of your caravan. And as far as I'm aware, all VIN numbers are made up of 17 numbers. Some may have letters in them as well. It depends on the van in question. But there's plenty of ways to find out exactly how old it is. So basically all you need to do is count along them digits until you reach the 10th one, and then look it up on something like that, and that will tell you exactly what year that caravan is. So it's very important to know that information for buying purposes and reselling purposes, also for insurance purposes, and most importantly for me, when you come to sight a van, they will find a number. If you can't provide a number, they'll probably refuse you anyway. But if you've not looked and they find it, they will identify the age of that van, and then they could say, your van is too old to be on this site. Or maybe you'll put it on the site, but they forget to tell you that it's only got a year or two before it comes outdated. And all caravan sites are different, we know that. Some will let you have a caravan on their site for 5 years. Some will let you have it on there for 10 years. If you take it to a residential park, you can put that caravan on there for as long as you want, because you can actually live in it then. But they also refer to the age of the van. So you don't ever want to buy a caravan not knowing how old that van is in the first place. And if you can't identify the age of that caravan, then you could have all these problems. On this particular site, you can have a caravan on there until it's 20 years old, and then that's when you're supposed to be taking it off. But they don't work so straight. What they do is they'll come and look at your caravan and they'll inspect it. And if your caravan's clean and tidy, not falling to bits, then they'll allow you to leave it on for another year. And then they'll review it every year to make sure its upkeep is acceptable. But as I've said, not all caravan sites work like that. But the first and foremost thing is to know what you're buying, how old it is, and what it's worth. And once you've got all that information, you can then ask sites how long you can leave that van on there for. Is there any age restrictions? Because you don't want to buy a 2005 van to find out that you've only got 1 year left before they tell you to move it. Anyway, I hope you found this information useful and you've got a better understanding now of where to locate that number and exactly what that number represents, so you can identify the age of your van straight away before you even make a purchase. If you're interested in seeing other videos on caravan life in the UK, please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and I look forward to seeing you at next one. Take care and enjoy your weekend.